Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. We've got game 3 of 4 coming at you live here on Beyond the Summit. Starladder Season 8, Day 19 coverage resumes. We've got a good one here for you folks. Na'Vi facing off against Mouz Sports. I am Zyori, and with me is Cinderin, as luck be have it. Cinderin, welcome back once again. Are you looking forward here to Mouz versus Na'Vi, my friend?
I'm always looking forward to these kind of games, but I have to say I'm really confused about this. Obviously, I guess there's quite a few people who are watching right now who are not familiar with the announcement I made earlier today that I am no longer playing competitively, and Mouz have been replacing quite a few people recently, or at least myself. I haven't been playing for them for a while, and Link has also not been playing with them for a while. I'm not completely sure what's going on with him, to be fairly honest, but even more so today, because the Mouz Sports we've seen playing recently has been Crit, Rise, Exist, Unicorn, and who am I missing? Ace, of course.
Yes.
And today it's Crit and Exist only who are there. I'm not sure where Rise and Ace are, so this is even more of a stand-in heavy lineup coming out of Mouz Sports. And also the way they've tagged up in the game is actually not with the official Mouz Sports profile, but with one called Mouz Sports with a Z and without a logo. So I'm gonna have to. I'm not sure if we should read too much into that. I'm not completely sure what they're on to right here, but regardless, we're gonna look at the game and see what's going down. Of course, always a problem playing with 3 stand-ins like Mouz Sports is right now, and Na'Vi only with 1. They have a replacement for who is missing. Kuroki, exactly, and Dubas will be playing instead of him. So, well, into the draft, Elder Titan was the second pick for Na'Vi together with Clinks, whereas Mouz Sports first picked the Alchemist and got the Rubik. So. No big advantage so far in the draft, in my opinion. I'm surprised Na'Vi picked the Clinks this early on, to be honest. And they didn't pick the Luna. I think Kavost was like, puppy, play something else. Please, give me something else. And we're going to see if that's going to be the Clinks or one of the other heroes.
Yeah. Have mercy, puppy. I can only play so much Luna. Now, Rubik's second pick. In most cases, I'd say that's a little bit interesting, but Mouz have been running this crit on Rubik non-stop, and he's been doing this fancy footwork in the jungle that Merlinia and I first identified, and maybe you can shed some insight to it. But he pulls from the mid lane, pulls from the bottom, and he has this really crafty jungle route where Rubik kind of ends up being level 6, almost on point with those mid heroes. And we even got to see him do some pretty slick farming action to get a relatively early Ags in a match maybe earlier in the week against a Luna, where he just had an incredible showing with that Ags clips that he was able to steal on multiple occasions. Not surprised to see them grab the Rubik for crit. I'm almost a little bit more surprised to see Na'Vi not ban him out, because it's been a pretty potent aspect of the Mouz strategy as of late.
Yeah, once you have the Rubik in the jungle, of course you can use the telekinesis to your advantage in how you can pull the creeps towards the wave. I'm assuming that's what he's using to get that fast level 6 in his jungle pattern. I could be wrong, but that would at least be one way of doing it. Pulling, you can even pull, the big camp on the Radiant side at the bottom lane. You can pull that with telekinesis across the cliff, I believe, and then pull it down to the wave that way. So,
and yeah, it's interesting you bring up Radiant, because I think Mouz, at least the last 3 games we've seen from them, they've been on the Radiant side, and at this point, I'm hard pressed to believe that it's a coincidence. I think they are definitely heavily in favor of the Radiant side, so Rubik can pull off that strategy.
Yep, and that's probably what they'll be doing here as well. I don't see too much of an aggressive tri-lane potential. I don't see too much of a dual lane potential either. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward with the Timbersaw off lane or maybe mid, and then the last hero could go off lane or whatnot. But looking forward to seeing some Rubik magic. Of course, one thing we didn't mention as well is Rubik's ability to jungle with Fate Bolt. Often just regarded as a strong nuke, but the minus damage is actually very relevant when you're jungling and when you're laning. And it's often an overlooked part of the ability, in my opinion. People generally think of it as just a finisher or a way of killing heroes, but when you use it early in fights, or when you use it for jungling early on in the camps, you can actually keep your creeps alive and pull even further, and I'm assuming he's also doing that. Yeah. Now, however, we have a lot of stand-ins, and because of that, I guess Crit is still playing the Rubik, but it's also possible that 2 of the stand-ins are actually playing the supports, and Crit takes another role. So there's no guarantee right now that he will be playing the Rubik.
That is fair enough. With that many stand-ins, certainly things like that can come about. And I'm still a little curious how they want to run this Alchemist. Will this just be a support Alchemist to pair with that Mirana, or is this going to be a mid Alchemist with Timbersaw on that off lane, and then they'll grab another support to pair with the Mirana? Maybe something like that Vengeful Spirit for a little bit of aggression. If they wanted to add another stun to the lineup here, could be an option. And as always, one of the great things about having an Alchemist early on in the draft, you have that flexibility for later on. Na'Vi with a pretty solid draft, though. They've got two pretty aggressive supports. Visage as well as Crystal Maiden can do quite a bit of damage. And we've seen teams now that they've seen what Crit's up to in the jungle with that Rubik. I think last match we saw the opponents contested a little bit and at least put some pressure on him. And that did slow him down quite a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Na'Vi try and get a little bit aggressive in the Radiant jungle early on to slow down what Rubik is up to. Though, perhaps not. It really depends on how they want to lane it.
Why are they banning the Enchantress? I guess they're assuming it's a solo mid-alchemist then. That's the only reasonable way of thinking about this, I have to say. There's no real other option, which is also something Exist has been playing quite a bit for Mouz Sports. Mouz is going to ban out the Luna. Done their homework as well. But
I guess
apparently not scared of it until the last pick. I would say if Na'Vi picks that, they pick it third every game.
I mean, I guess they could have done Clink's mid, ET in the off lane, and then pretty aggressive try with the CM, Visage, and Luna. That could have worked all right here. Puck's still in the pool, though, and I'm going to suggest it here as an option for Na'Vi. If they do want to grab a mid-hero and try lane that Clinks, they have a little bit of flexibility as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they have some options here for sure, and it's even possible to play the Elder Titan as a short lane carry, as an easy lane carry, which we don't see that frequently, but I don't know what Navi's thinking right now. They could definitely get pretty much anything they want, and it would still fit because they have key supports and good solos. Then you can kind of put whatever lanes you want, and they're going to grab a Doombringer as their final pickup. Not quite sure who he is supposed to counter here, or if it's just generally an overall strong pick for them. But we've seen a lot of CIS teams picking Doom highly, and Na'Vi not one of them.
I was just
they haven't really given the hero much attention.
I can't remember the last time I saw Na'Vi play Doom, so that's kind of interesting. I guess he'll be in the 1 position here. They could put him in solo safe lane and do a long lane tri lane with the Clinks if they wanted to do that, or vice versa, safe lane Clinks. They have a lot of laning options here. All these heroes are pretty flexible. I
think Dendy doesn't play Elder Titan. I really think he doesn't. He has played it, but I think he doesn't like it.
That's exactly it. He has, and he will if he has to, but he really doesn't like it. And that day where we had those 2 very quick losses from Na'Vi, what was it, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, at least one of those games was a Dendy solo mid Elder Titan. So not a hero that he's particularly comfortable on. And Dendy just seems to thrive with heroes that can be big playmakers. And Elder Titan can be, but not in the same capacity that something like a Storm Spirit or a Puck or someone like that can be, especially in the mid game.
The reason it doesn't appeal so much to him is that the kind of player Dendy is, like you say, he's kind of a flashy player, and that's not to say that Elder Titan can't make big plays, because every hero can, but the type of plays Dendy usually makes are either winning his lane by simply individual skill, or then towards the mid game he has a setup hero. And Elder Titan in a way is a setup hero with Echo Stomp, but it's a hard setup to land. He's more of a follow-up in my opinion. When you have a good initiation, Elder Titan is the one that finishes them off with the Earth Splitter and gets the Echo Stomp in. But generally, if you try to initiate with Echo Stomp, the enemy team will be good at moving out and spreading out and not getting caught. So Dendy likes heroes that are mobile and that can do stuff on their own as well. And Clinks is the hero in this draft that's most of a Dendy hero, is Clinks. Because he's a strong laner, and after that can do stuff on his own and make space for his team with some pickoffs here. So definitely agreeing with putting him on that. And we're going to have Puppy on the Crystal Maiden, per usual when they pick that. Dubas will be playing Kuroki's hero, stand-in of the day on Visage. Havost will be playing on Doombringer, so I'm assuming, it's a position 1 Doom, like you said. He's going to be going up top. And finally, Funnick on the Elder Titan, which he has been playing quite a lot and, has a lot more experience with than Dendy does, will be going to the offlane.
Yep, and on the Radiant side, we have Mouz, or sort of the Mouz team. 2 members, 3 stand-ins today. It looks like they will be doing a little bit of 1-1-3 action down in the safe lane. We'll have a tri-lane. Stand-in Mitch going to be playing on the Mirana. Stand-in Buktop going to be on the Alchemist. They're also going to be joined by Crit, who will indeed be playing on the Rubik. Probably going to be moving about the jungle, but we'll just throw some wards down. One actually up here. Both teams warding up the high ground on the Radiant Ancients right there, and he'll rotate downwards. Exist going to be solo mid. mid on the Magnus, and stand-in Cat for KM, going to be on the long lane solo Timbersaw.
The good thing for Mouse Sports in this game is that, in my opinion, they've got some good stand-ins. I think Cat is a very good player. He has owned his skills. How do you say that? Honed or owned? Honed his skills. Honed his skills.
Honed.
Yeah, he has honed his skills quite a lot in this solo position. Exist, not the stand-in of today, obviously, but so never mind that. But Mitch as well as Victor, the 3 stand-ins that they have, I believe, are all Croatian. Serbian. So communication definitely not going to be an issue between them, and Mitch is kind of a hit or miss player in my opinion. He has one of the heroes that he tends to hit with, Mirana, and Victor on any sort of setup support is a solid player as well. So hoping to see them pull off some good plays here, but obviously having 3 stand-ins is definitely not the ideal situation against, especially not when you're going up against a top contender like Na'Vi.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Buch top, that is Victor, just FYI. And I remember that now that you said it out loud, though I had forgotten. And speaking of the devil, he is going to charge up a concoction that will zone out Funnick a little bit here. The arrow going to connect. I don't know that they'll have enough damage to finish him off, as he is close to tower range, and indeed they will be forced to back. Mitch actually taking a lot of return damage. Oh no, is this going to be enough to finish him? Whew.
Oh, never mind. Oh, I thought I heard the salve going off, and I thought it was his that got cancelled, but Victor used one at the same time in the side. So, didn't get it cancelled there. Mitch, though, down to 15 HP.
Very close. Very close. That would have been a big win for Funnick right there to grab first blood in the long lane in a 1v2 scenario. But here it is, Crit in the jungle, doing that footwork. He's going to pull a full wave from the mid lane, so not only denies a little bit of experience going the way of the other mid hero, gets Exist a little bit of lane control, but also makes for easy jungling here. He is only level 1 at the moment, but that will quickly be on the rise. So nothing too super crazy, but now he pulls him just straight into this next camp, and ends up being a pretty easy jungle rotation here for the Rubik.
Yep, I don't think he can pull this one further in any way. I could be wrong, but since he's pulled it from the mid, I don't think the pathing these creeps will take will work for him.
No.
They're gonna run to them.
Cat for KM in trouble up here. He's level 3, does not have Timber Chain. They'll let him walk away, but wow, a very risky build here. The 1-0-2 at level 3. I really like that 1-1-1 opener. With that Timber Chain, that would have been an easy getaway, though he did survive, so I guess it can't be too hard on it. But I like that value point in Timber Chain and the long lane Timbersaw for sure.
Especially against a lane like this, where there is a Frostbite as the only thing that can stop your chain. He can get away from everything else because it's either slow or just damage. So as long as he waits for the Frostbite, then he can chain out to safety. If he gets caught mid-chain frost, mid-chain with Frostbite, there we go, not mid-chain frost. Kind of stumbling over the words there. If he gets caught, then of course the chain does break, but I believe so. Even though it's not technically a stun, but it still should interrupt it.
Yes, Frostbite does, I believe. I can picture it in my head, so I'm pretty sure we've caught that on camera a time or two. But alas, he will hit level 4, and he is going to grab that Timber Chain, so now going to be a bit of a moot point, but Na'Vi almost able to capitalize as they did pressure him pretty hard. Let's take a look at the farm zone. It looks like Avos doing pretty well in this position 1 Doom. He is going to be sitting 14-2 at the moment. And down here in the bottom lane, Mitch doing very well. That's 15-6. So they are just about blow for blow. Though Funnick doing a great job in this off lane. He is about on point with the Timbersaw, so I guess they're doing well with one another. But looking at the last hits, Timbersaw actually doing a bit better. He is 14-1. Wow, that farm a lot better than I would have thought. So
I was about to say, he's probably the biggest winner of this laning stage right now.
Jeez.
The Timber is getting a lot here, playing this very well. Now he's going to be in trouble. Now he has the Timber chain. Oh, nice stomp by Havost.
So, is it going to be enough, though? There's the slow from the Visage. He's going to try to move in the trees. Scorched Earth going to make this a little bit difficult for him. He'll hop forward. Havost going to be able to grab the kill, but oh man, Mitch going to grab the first blood. He'll steal it from Havost down in the bottom lane. They're able to pick off the Elder Titan while all that's happening, and the first blood bonus bounty goes to Mitch on that Mirana. Now Exist on the Magnus, going to come up top. He's only level 5, so no RP, and Doom just going to walk out of the trees here. Shockwave going to do a bit of damage, taking some tower shots. There's the skewer, and Havost will fall. Exist going to be able to walk away with that kill, and that will ding him level 6. So Mouz going to start to pull ahead a little bit here, 2-1, and they do get the first blood.
I really loved that play Na'Vi pulled off here at top, and nice response here from Mouz porting up the Magnus. I really thought he wouldn't be able to kill the Doom there, because Doom had healed up to full, but Shockwave on the point, tower hits, as well as a good skewer, secures the kill, but I can imagine what Cat was thinking in that scenario. He's probably thinking what I said earlier, like, there's only one thing that stops my Timber Chain, and that's Frostbite, and then when he throws out the chain, he gets Centaur stomped by the Doom. I don't think that's what you're expecting to happen. at that 3-minute mark.
I didn't
on the
expect
lane.
it, that's for sure.
So that was really well played by them. They did get the kill, but like you said, First Blood did go the way of Mouz down the bottom. They got it like half a second earlier, so really good time.
Oh,
Victor just stunned himself.
Oh, Victor.
Oh, dear.
You poor guy. That is just unfortunate. So Funnick now going to take some victory here in this bottom lane. That's basically a free kill coming his way. That is good news. At least going to be able to grab himself a recovery kill. And let's see, how's this mid lane going? We haven't really put too much stock into the mid. Dendy sitting 32-4 on the Clinks, and Magnus only 20-1. So Dendy obviously getting the better of him. Did have a bit of time to free farm when Magnus rotated top. And Rubik nearby, perhaps looking for an opportunity to gank. And he is going to throw down a ward, but there's already a sentry down. Dendy going to get a free ward kill right there. That was a fresh one, too. Very nicely done. Very unfortunate from Crit. And now he's going to take a couple of searing arrows to the face. Wow, look how hard Dendy hits already. He is going to skeleton walk and pursue this Rubik. Might need to be a little bit careful. Rubik going to try and make it back to the tower. Timbersaw actually going to get converged on as well. He's taking a lot of damage, and he'll fall. While that's happening, Dendy is going to turn around and now just throw a couple of hits there onto the Magnus. So I did catch the tail end of that kill, but Timbersaw just in a very aggressive position will get crowd controlled down.
Yeah, Navi up to 3-2, getting the advantage on gold as well as experience now, and still haven't seen much out of Dendy. Not just yet, because he needs to hit that... I'm not sure what level he's aiming for. He tried to get the kill on the Rubik, like you said, couldn't manage to pick him off. But interesting to see him getting the Soul Ring as well. This is a classic Clinks build that I feel like we don't see that frequently anymore, because Clinks tend to go for the Orchid, and that solves the mana problems. And perhaps Dendy isn't even going for an Orchid when he gets a Soul Ring like this. I'm really curious to see what he's thinking about here.
Yeah. Myself included. You're absolutely right. We really don't see Soul Ring on Clinks, at least the past few matches that I've had the privilege of casting a Bone Fletcher. I don't remember us seeing a Soul Ring in that inventory. Victor down in the bottom lane. He's going to charge up the Concoction. This time going to stun Funnick. Not going to hit himself in the face. And the arrow...
Very late arrow from Mitch there.
Yeah. Dendy going to rotate down, though. Looks like they want to turn it around on Victor. Dendy going to throw a little bit of flaming arrow action his way. Victor going to charge up a Concoction, but nowhere to go. And Alchemist is going to fall. I'm still just blown away by how... how much that Clinks hurts. Havost, looks like Scorched Earth going to be enough. Yeah. I'm still just blown away by how much damage the Searing Arrows does. I mean, obviously, plus 60 is huge, but, I mean, Clinks just melts people at this level. It's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. He hits for 200.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
It's pretty insane. Well, to be fair, I think it's okay Clinks does that, because he doesn't do much else than hit. So, kind of has to hit hard to make up for it, I guess.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I mean, it does balance it. This is kind of that time where he peaks semi-relative. I mean, maybe not his peak, but without items. Like, he hits really hard here with at level 7 with the maxed out Searing Arrows. So you're definitely right. But still, it's just ridiculous to see Clinks like 3-shot.
Oh, solo kill from Mitch.
Wow, I'm totally...
Gets a kill on Funnick. I did not look down there. I was not expecting that. But it's what I've said before the game really started. Mitch is a hit-or-miss player, and right now he's 2-0 with the Midas, so he might be starting to snowball pretty hard in this game. If Mitch gets going like this, he tends to have a pretty good game.
Yeah, a solo kill with a
Puppy's
Midas.
In trouble.
That is good news. Up in the top, there's the telekinesis to start it off. Victor going to charge up the Concoction. Puppy will fall, does get off the Crystal Nova before he goes down, but the Moonlight Shadow comes, and now Mouz going to try to make the retreat here. About half duration left on Moonlight Shadow. Cap for KM. Uh-oh, he's going to whiff that Timber Chain. Now he's going to get doomed, and it looks like he's going to fall. Nowhere for the Visage stand-in to go. He's going to go down, but at least they're going to be able to grab some recovery kills here. Havost going to use... No, what was that stun? Was that a War Stomp? Where did that stun... Oh, those were the Familiars. I'm such a silly Willy. I thought that was the... Yeah, okay, Familiar stuns, but moral of the story here, Navi clean it up 2 for 3, and they only sacrificed their 2 supports, so not a bad exchange.
Definitely not, and I think... I had a point there, but I lost it.
Yeah.
But Doom...
Arrow on
Doom
Dendy.
did get off... Oh, wow. Another arrow from Mitch.
Wow, that was a close one. That was one of those hitbox kind of, did that really connect to the skeleton? But alas, it did. And Dendy does fall, makes for an easy kill, and that tier 1 tower actually gets denied in the mid, so Mao's going to find a little bit of recovery there as Mitch
Speaking
racks
of
up
denies, Speaking of denies, now I remember what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Victor did get the deny in that fight in the top lane. He got the deny on the doomed Timbersaw. So Na'Vi didn't really get a 3 for 2 there. They kind of got a 2 for 2 plus a deny. So not really the biggest loss for Mouz. And like you said, they also denied the mid tower. So doing a good job at limiting Na'Vi's victories here, but they are still winning.
And Doom going to grab a Hand of Midas here, and of course Doom always go back to, he's got that Devour, which is sort of a Hand of Midas function, so when paired with the Midas, he can really start picking up a lot of momentum on the GPM chart. Havost currently number 2, slightly behind that Mirana, as Mirana is 3-0-0 right now on the KDA chart, and did have a slightly better timed Midas. But I think we're going to see Havost farm quite a bit here. Dubas going to take a bit of damage here. And, of course, we're going to miss a kill while this little exchange is going on in the top lane. Elder Titan going to be able to kill the Magnus, but now Havost in trouble. He'll throw the Doom onto the Timbersaw just to try and stay alive. Victor going to charge up the stun. They will be able to finish off Timbersaw, but Doom is going to go down. Now is Visage going to have enough to finish off the Alchemist? He will. And that's going to be a 1 for 2 up in the top lane. Now Magnus fell somewhere in the mid, and I completely missed it. It looks like Funnick with a double damage was able to take him out.
I'm having a hard time imagining how he soloed a Magnus with his current skill build. He must have hit an Echo Stomp, or a little bit of a mistake must have come out from the Mag, who even has a Blink. Not sure what happened. Maybe he didn't see the double damage was available for Funnick and went overconfident on him to try and do something, but a little bit of a weird kill that Funnick manages to grab here, and Na'Vi getting more and more momentum. They just got the kills up top that we saw, and starting to put pressure on the tier 1, and unfortunately this RP is not going to land. Na'Vi backing off at the perfect time here.
He canceled the RP. It was close though.
At least canceled it.
It was a close one though. A smart cancel indeed, because he did hop forward and would not have been successful. And with that, Na'Vi just going to retreat here. The smart choice. Magnus is hungry for blood, and they're not going to feed it to him.
Might, however, be able to get in on Dubas here.
Maybe. Mitch almost in trouble. Moonlight Shadow comes out, so now things could be a little bit scary here for this top laner, Dubas. But yeah, they're just going to rotate into the jungle. I guess they didn't realize he was nearby.
Nice play by Puppy. Predicted the pathing there from Mitch. Wow. So well done. He ran in there and put a blind sentry there. He couldn't know Mitch was there. He lost vision like 5 seconds ago.
Wow. Amazing
play.
Amazing. Sometimes those gambles pay off. You miss 100% of wards you don't put down, right? Or something
I had never heard that before. Okay.
Miss 100% of arrows you don't throw. Just trying to apply the same logic when you throw those gambles. Sentry, he gambled, it paid off. Well played, though. You're absolutely right.
Big payoff as well. He got a killing spree ended on the Mirana, so that's 415 gold for Puppy that he can start converting into something. But wait a bit on that top lane.
Oh, Dubas in trouble. He's going to get telekinesis back. Rubik will fall, so at least it's a support for a support. Na'Vi going to mitigate their losses. And, Radiant Courier actually going to get picked off. Looks like the Familiars were able to do it. Oh,
I think Dendy did it.
Oh, Dendy did it. Oh, pardon me. That was in the mid. Oh, my mistake. Okay, I saw the Familiars fly over, and I thought it was there. But, wow, Dendy going to pick the Courier. So a multifaceted victory there for Na'Vi.
And he is actually playing the EE Sama Blinks.
Is that a Blink coming on the Courier?
Yeah.
Oh, Mitch going to get doomed here.
Mitch is dead.
Easy kills here coming out for Na'Vi. Havost doing a great job with that Doom ulti. He's rotating it and using it at about every opportunity he can. Exist going to come in here. He will skewer Havost backwards, but it's going to cost Victor his life. Oh no, poor Booktop will pay for it. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, a lot of simultaneous kills happening. It seems that Funnick is involved in all of these individual skirmishes about the map, and this time he won't come out the victor, and Timbersaw going to be able to finish him off again. Did not catch it, so Funnick going to be in the grave. But still, Na'Vi going to trade a 2-for-1 about the map as they grab those 2 kills in the mid in exchange for nothing.
I'm gonna have to admit, I didn't watch the game where Eternal Envy got the Blink Dagger or Soul Ring on Clinks, so I'm looking forward to seeing the potential of it. I saw a highlight video where they took down Barracks by blinking in the Clinks with Strafe, hitting Barracks, and then sending him out with Chen. But that isn't available for Na'Vi right now, so I'm not sure if it's just casual repositioning item and how good it actually is. We're gonna wait with that. Dubas, very, very dead in the bottom lane. Did have to expend the... No, didn't expend the RP for that, actually.
Yeah.
And now counter initiation from Na'Vi.
Havost coming in. Moonlight Shadow comes out. Puppy going to go ahead and burn a dust. He will Freezing Field here. Doesn't have a lot of hit points to play with, but that's okay. He's going to force the forces of Mouz to spread out. Crystal Maiden will fall, but Rubik and Magnus going to get taken out, as will the Mirana as Clinks comes around the backside. Timbersaw going to come in. He'll clean up the Elder Titan. Dendy trying to finish him off here, but needs to be a little bit careful. Victor going to charge up the stun. A dust has already been burned, so Dendy will be in some trouble here. He is going to try and make it out. He will survive for now. Now Victor actually might be in a little bit of trouble as Evost is rejoining the party. He's going to stun, complement to that Centaur War Stomp. And now Victor is going to be destined to fall. He's going to charge up that stun. He will turn and throw it onto the Doom. And won't be enough. The blink from Dendy. Going to hop over the trees to finish him. Crit taking a ton of damage here, though. These familiars really doing some serious work. Scorched Earth still down. Dendy going to reinitiate. Just a couple of searing arrows will be enough to finish him off. Now Cat for KM. He sees the low clinks. He wants to try to make something happen. Whirling Death going to do some pure damage to Havost. 25 hit points to spare. He's going to turn. He's going to try and make it out. The familiars will get some stuns. Funnick does have himself some boots of travel, so he will be able to make it back into the fight. Doom comes out before Havost has to head back to the well, and they're going to be able to clean it up on Timbersaw. Beautifully executed by Na'Vi. And now Mouz just kind of running in one at a time. Exist going to be left solo. He's taking a lot of damage. The Earth Splitter off the mark, but it doesn't matter. Magnus is going to be destined to fall. Down he goes. 21-13 here now as we approach the 16-minute mark. Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Whew, with some momentum.
2 kills per minute. Here we go, Victor.
Oh,
that's not enough.
He's gonna throw a stun onto the Doom, and I think it's gonna cost him his life here. I hope that concoction was worth it, buddy. He's gonna get crowd control down, the frostbite, the slow, and level death. He's gonna turn. He wants to throw another concoction. He will get the stun off, but the follow-up from Na'Vi not gonna be there, so not gonna cost Victor his life as I initially thought. Now Mitch gonna come in. This is just one non-stop engage. Mouse running in sort of single-handedly here. Now Crit getting harassed a bit as well. They look like they want to pursue. Funnick may get left behind. Telekinesis, Concoction charging up. But Dendy is still inbound here. Victor, that one's going to cost him his life. Down he goes. And Catfrick Am trying to get in. Arrow going to fly, going to be off the mark. Visage just going to stand his ground. He's trying to finish off Crit here. Crit did steal the Echo Stomp, and that's going to keep him alive at least for now. 9 hit points to spare. Visage looking for something. Exists now. He's going to blink. Skewer back, and Tubus is still alive. Finally going to fall to the Priestess of the Moon, Starstorm. And I think the Rubik did make it out. Yeah, he was able to pour it out. That was just non-stop chaos for a solid 3-minute stretch there. I guess Na'Vi came out ahead. That was insane.
I have no idea what's going on in this game right now. These fights are so chaotic. And if there's one team that's really good at playing chaotic fights, it's Na'Vi. And I think in that bottom fight, Dendy and Havost just really outmaneuvering Mouz right there. They got so much done with so little. They constantly had low mana, low health, but they made the right moves, really played some solid mind games there with a Blink Dagger of Clinks and got some good kills. Luckily, Crit got out there on like 8 health, so Mouz minimized their losses towards the end, but if you look at the golden XP graphs, Na'Vi are just gaining all the time. Even though these fights, it seems a little bit hard to call a victor. We've got the graphs to tell us who is really getting the better of it.
And I want to ask you about this build from Havost. I don't think I've ever seen it on Doom. He is going to go Dagon, and he will be leveling it up. That is a level 2 Dagon first item following Bracer and
kind of defines the game now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's kind of showing. So. That's showing what's going on in the game.
Wow.
Complete chaos and crazy stuff. Funnick is going to get Boots of Travel Vlad's first on Elder Titan. And Midas on Puppy. We know how he likes to transition into a mid-late game Crystal Maiden by getting that Midas. And we'll probably be seeing him getting something along the lines of either the Yule Scepter that he likes to get or a BKB. Oh yeah, Crit is in trouble. Very
Easy
big
kill
trouble
for Dendy right there. Now Victor going to come in. He will connect with the Concoction. But he's going to blink back to safety. That's a safe Dendy.
And Dendy's going for Orchid now. This is highly unusual.
Yeah, blink into Orchid. It's interesting, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about it too much because that action went crazy. But you're right. In MLG Columbus, the EE Sama blink first. That was with the Chen, and they were doing all sorts of crafty work with the Test the Faith, Force Staff and Forward Strafe, finish off racks, and then he instantly gets ported to the well. That was pretty interesting play. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess Dendy just looking for a little bit of mobility here. It's not a bad choice on Clinks. Gives you that initiation power. And, well, Clinks is pretty fragile, so it does give him a bit of mobility. So I guess it does kind of synergize with Clinks, even though it seems like an odd item choice.
Yeah, I would have probably got the Orchid first in that scenario, but the blink has definitely paid off for him. Nice arrow into Puppy. He's going to get blown up. No! Victor uses the stun on someone else.
It connects with
He's
Dendy.
gonna start getting his spells. Okay, got a Nova.
Dust's gonna come out here. Glyph, or pardon me, the Aegis gonna get popped. Doom was the one to pick it up. He is gonna fall. Puppey already has gone down, but Crit now in trouble. RP comes out from Exist, but not gonna be enough. Dendy gonna be able to hop forward, and we'll finish him off with some of those searing arrows. Now they're gonna press forward. They want Mitch here. Moonlight Shadow gonna expire, and Mitch gonna be in big trouble. Does not have a leap for another 7 seconds, and Dendy with the searing arrows. That'll finish him off. A little bit of crafty camera work there. And, yeah, Na'Vi, needless to say, going to find the better of it. They do burn the Aegis, but they still finish off Roach. And in the end, trade Aegis and Puppey for the Mirana and Magnus.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Better trade for them. They also got the Rubik in that mix, I think. And maybe even the Alchemy.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
they
not
did
sure,
get
but
the...
they definitely got the Rubik.
Oh, yeah, they have such slow respawn timers.
Yeah,
you're right, they
hard to
did
keep
kill
track.
the Rubik for sure.
Oh, Havost.
Oh my
Very
God.
nice.
Rubik going to get Dagoned, and now the Doom ulti going to come out on Cat for KM. They want to dive this. A little bit of nuke coming out from Visage.
Look at Havost.
Jeez.
He's going ham.
Yeah, he really is.
All in for it.
They had tier 2's still up, and he's going to dive to tier 4's. And they're just going to hang out in the tier 3's. Magnus, he's going to get juiced. It may cost Havost his life here. And it will. He gets finished off by the tower. But Navi's still going to find a good exchange. Dendy going to take a whirling death.
Oh, a nice arrow by Mitch.
Oh, wow. Dendy actually going to pay for it here. Down he goes. Mitch has really been on point with these arrows. It's kind of a shame that Mouz don't have that kind of teamwork, it seems. They've been sort of running in disarray in a lot of these team fights, but Mitch has connected with a lot of really, really clutch arrows this match.
I feel like he's definitely done his part here on the Mirana. He's 5-4-4, but he's hit some of the most important arrows. There's then a good old reference to back in the days with Dota 1 when everyone was downloading the replays of GhostGamers.net and people would always write auto DL in the comments. Like if there was someone playing a hero they were famous for, it was auto DL, automatically download that one. So a little bit of
Little
homage
funsies
from
coming out.
Dendy to some old stuff there, and oh, there we go.
Yep.
Big stick from Havost.
Dagon,
Stick 5.
Dagon level 5. That's.
I would have loved for him to keep it on 4. I think that would have been really cool if Havost did that. Just kept the Dagon 4 and then got something else. And then the Diffusal Blade with 4 charges or something. That would have been style.
Uh-oh. You still hear me? I heard that sound like something got unplugged from my computer, and I don't know what it was.
All good for me.
Oh, can you still hear me? It's all good?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
alright, cool. Oh, that's
And
what
your
that
yelling
was.
neighbor.
Yeah, that was... Sorry, I was trying to silence the beast. It's not so bad if I could just pause the game and get up and go tell him to knock it off, but... Book top? Oh, Victor. He's dead. Nothing he can do about it. Level 4 Dagon. Yeah, Havost really missed it there. You're right about that. I don't know, I guess
they're
Havost
looking
not
very,
interested
very
in
strong right
trolling
now.
himself.
Navi just gaining more and more. Actually, a little bit of a bounce back on the graphs. I think that was the last team fight where they especially got the kill on Dendy. I think he was worth quite a bit of gold in that kill, and a couple of other targets as well, but yeah, Navi's still in a very commanding position here, and don't look to plan on giving Mouz any sort of space here. We'll already be pressuring the bottom tier 2.
Yeah, they're just going to keep this aggression on. And this is another one of these games where Navi only ahead by 10 kills, but that graph just so far in their favor. And Doom, part of the reason for that, he's been farming like mad with that Devour, as well as the Hand of Midas. Number 1 on the net worth chart by a huge margin here. Just about 14k. Mirana's the leader for Mouz, and he's at only 9k right now. Navi will take out the tier 2 and bottom. The tier 1 up top is getting pressured pretty hard, but the pushing power from Mouz really not too scary. And Navi already going to be sort of knocking on the front door of the base here, chipping away at this tier 3. Well, perhaps not really chipping at it yet, but they are stationed about this bottom tier 3. Oh, up top, Havost going to be able to finish off the Rubik. He has that level 5 Dagon, so I guess I should have been ready for it. But, oh, is he going to interrupt this? There it is. Will connect with the level death. Does have the War
nice
Stomp as well.
again.
Oh, nice timing
In
from
before
Puppey.
laser. Get ready for the laser. Boom.
There it is.
Meanwhile,
Now-
bottom, Mitch gets a kill on the Clinks, as well as the Elder Titan. This is just complete chaos. Navi just completely dived the base there, 3-on-3, and they are going to lose all 3 just to kill the Magnus. Really bad trade for Navi here, actually.
Still ends up being a break even across the map, though. A 3 for 3.
That's true. But not really. I feel like it's weird to count the casualties like this because these fights are not really fights. It's just a group of weird skirmishes all around the place.
Yeah, it really is. But the real victor here is Havost, I think. His farm is just continuing to grow at astronomical levels here, and he does have about 3.5k in the bank. And the sky's the limit. What item does he want to grab next following Dagon 5? You know what? I'm not even going to try and predict it, because he could really
Refresher
grab
orb.
anything he wants here. Refresher could be an option. We'll see. He's going to go to the secret shop and...
it's going to be E-Blade, of course.
Of course! Jeez, how... I mean...
Ethereal Blade Dagon for the Doom. I mean, why not? He already had Axe Refresher the other day on Luna, so now it's time for something new. He heard this build was good, so he's going to try it on Doom. What a clown game right now from Na'Vi.
I can't
They're
wait.
having a good time.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Oh, you can definitely tell. Even Funnick here, he's got himself a Ghost Scepter. Not an item you see all too often on the Elder Titan, but he wants some longevity here. Clink's going to be grabbing a BKB, so looks like Havost by far the one having the most fun, as Dubas has an Ags. Everyone else is pretty normal for the most part. I mean, Funnick's build is a little bit different, but pretty standard. Havost is just... I think
Also
you said it right.
Unusual to have 4,000 gold on a Crystal Maiden as well, I think, but
Oh,
Puppy
wow.
is saving up for his Christmas presents. There we go, that's the BKB. He's gonna one-shot that.
Gotta grab himself a BKB, and, well, maybe a Blink as well. We could see some of those big Frost freezing fields. For some reason now, when I say freezing field, I think of Frost Field Plate from Han, and then I get tongue-tied. And it's Freezing Field Shiva's Guard. I don't know why I've been struggling with the freezing field so much, but... We've seen Puppy with some big CM ultis. Well, not an uncommon thing to see. Yeah,
It's a good way. Don't remember the ability. We've seen some good second ability from this hero usage.
It's a pretty good cue
CM
from
ultis.
Pugna, you know.
Freezing fields.
Yeah,
Yeah,
freezing
well,
field.
Puppy has certainly been one of the best players at using that ability recently. I think the player who really brought it into the game and made people realize how valuable it is, I think Ake as well, has been playing incredibly around that Crystal Maiden ult. And what you need to realize is, the reason people didn't really pick it in the past was that Crystal Maiden very rarely got into the fights and got a chance of using it. But if you can keep track of the abilities being used, you stay at a reasonable distance, other heroes take priority for your enemy team, and they've used all the disables, this ulti is, in theory, the highest damage spell in the game, I think.
It does a lot, that's for sure. RNG based, so it gives it a...
Well, at least one of them. I won't go into complete theory crafting here, because obviously other spells can do a hell of a lot of damage as well. But this freezing field is absurd, and it's got buffed so many times. And it was the way of the Ice Frog and the beta testers to say, please guys, pick up this spell, it's really good. And the competitive scene just refused to get it, and then they buffed it 4 times before we realized it's actually a good spell. So,
Yeah.
a little bit funny. Doom Dagon! Going off.
Oh, Crit, you sneaky dog. You're going to go down, and that'll be the end of this fight for now. Doom, well, he burned some stuff to try and shut down the Magnus, and actually it is going to be enough. Oh, Magnus going to get denied by Mitch, but going to be kind of a 1.5 for nil, I suppose. The deny does limit some of the success of that kill, but Magnus going to be in the grave nonetheless. And yeah, Freezing Field, I think the thing that a lot of folks don't realize about how much damage you can truly do, it lasts for 7 seconds. You almost never see it do a full channel because they either die or run away or the Crystal Maiden dies. But if you get a full channel off, it's insane. Then speak of the devil, Puppy going to go for it. The Earth Splitter on top. That'll be the end of Victor. Cat for KM going to make it out. Puppy, oh, he's going to be low. Their tower aggro is going to shift, and Puppy will survive, but with just a couple of hit points to spare, and the tier 2 in the mid does go down. So, point and center right there. Freezing Field does a lot of damage. Oh.
Here we go, Dendy with his own beacon. Okay, goodbye, Crit.
Yeah, Crit just going to get blown up.
2 shots.
And
now
Cat for KM now. He's going to Timber Chain away that one last arrow. Not enough. He's got 80 hit points to spare. He wants it.
He's not getting
Set
it
lasers to cornbread. Nope, not going to have it.
The cast range of that Dagon is actually really high. But didn't have the vision.
How long is the range, actually? On does the range increase when you level up Dagon? That's not on the tooltip.
It does.
Do you know by what? Do you know the numbers here, Syndran? We'll test your mechanics knowledge.
I actually don't know the numbers on that, and I'm not sure
either.
when it was introduced either. But a higher level Dagon definitely has a higher cast range. I'll look it up for a second. This is always nice when... This is why this is a game you never learn fully. There's always something new that you weren't aware of.
There's always something that isn't on the tooltip that you want to know. That's one of my other... Just put it on the tooltip, man. I'd love to know that.
It has 600 cast range on level 1 plus 50 per level. So it's up to 800 on level 5.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a long range there. So that's pretty solid. And the E-Blade is complete now.
eBay!
eBay, yay!
Here we go. Na'Vi will be taking Roshan.
Yep. Gonna be
And
easy,
who gets the
Roshan.
Aegis is my question. It's gonna go to Vost. I'm sure that was gonna happen. He wants to just go diving now with his item build. A little bit of an unorthodox game right now, and Na'Vi tends to have some of these games lately. They've had it against some CIS teams as well, where they can tell how commanding a position they're in, and then instead of ending the game, they just... It's like a cat playing with its mouse before it eats it. No pun intended on mouse there, by the way, but now I just realized how good that was. But Na'Vi are the cat playing with mouse before they eat them. Right here.
Oh.
And, yeah. I feel like Na'Vi could end this game when they want to be honest, because they have such a huge advantage right now, and the Orchid on Clinks will disable the Magnus from really getting in an RP, which is the only savior Mouseboss really has at their disposal right now. Glyph is gonna come off. Stable Concoction, not too much going to be won from this.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for Mouz to defend. The lead right now by Na'Vi is pretty damn big, upwards of about 22,000 gold here at the 30-minute mark. A big skewer back, though. Funnick and Havost going to be in some trouble. Funnick going to fall. The Aegis will pop Havost back up. Freezing Field from Puppy going to do a fair bit of damage in the back, but now that Havost is up, that'll be the end of the Alchemist. He's going to get lasered down, and, well, at least going to grab a kill of their own. Now going to burn the ulti on to Timbersaw. Looks like he might be able to make it out. Level Death going to be used here. Dendy has to be very careful. He has survived, but he's very low. The mech was popped already. Dendy did pick up a Chrysalis as well, though. Oh, God, the laser. Oh, Jesus. Cornbread coming out all over Rubik.
And actually, we should be pointing out, Elder Titan has his own Ethereal Blade, and, oh, here we go, nice skewer, but Dendy's going to come in for Mitch.
Yep, Mitch in a little bit of trouble here. Is the Orchid damage going to be enough, though? Nope, only 250. Still going to do a fair bit to him. Whirling Death comes in. There's the E-Blade, the laser. And now they're just going to start chopping that wood. The stun, no Timber Chain away. And we'll see you later, Timbersaw.
And, yeah, what is there to say? When you have an E-Blade on Elder Titan and an E-Blade on Doom and a Dagon, if you have that Astral Spirit next to someone for the natural order, these Dagons actually deal the damage that it says they do, unless you have a magic resistance item. So it's 800 damage per Dagon. Before applying Ethereal Blade.
Yeah, basically turns it into pure damage. Havost is going to overcommit here, but they will finish off the Rubik. Now Puppy, he's going to fall. Obviously, Na'Vi have a bit of breathing room, and they are going to use it. Victor now in the front lines. He does have the Blade Mail on, so we'll return a little bit of damage, and that will shift the focus of Na'Vi. Now Victor charging up the stun, going to try and drop it on Funnick here, it looks like. Funnick going to be in big trouble. The Concoction will be enough to secure that kill. And now that Na'Vi have conceded 3 kills to Mitch, they will try and turn
Rose
here.
galore.
Visage, he's in big trouble. Clinks, though, going to be able to end that mega kill streak. Dendy did finish him off. And Dubis trying to make the great escape, not going to find it. And now Dendy, he is low on mana here, so probably going to limit what he can do, but perhaps looking for an opportunity. Does have Skeleton walk up once again. And again, he does have a Crystallis, so he does have some options here. Not enough mana for the Orchid, but he's just going to try and lay into the Alchemist. Is he going to have the damage? No, he's not. Needs to be careful here. Doesn't have the Skeleton walk up for another 8. Won't have the mana for it now. Compliments of that Whirling Death stat loss. Oh, Dendy. Bit of an overcommit here. He is going to Skeleton walk, but a Dust comes out, and that'll be a Timber Chain to finish him down.
Nice Timber Chain there to end it off. And yeah, Na'Vi do throw a couple of heroes in the grave. Daniel. Mitch. Both teams enjoying this game, although I think they both realize where it's headed.
Yeah,
Mouz is still having good fun, just playing around with these crazy dives here. I miss a guy on my shoulders. Yeah, this is a reference to the last EMS LAN where Victor was carrying around a drunk Havost, and they were playing Alchemist. Basically, there's a good picture of him that I think Hani tweeted it. You can backtrack his history to find it. That was some good fun. So yeah, Victor having his fun as well.
Yeah, always good to see these guys having a bit of playful banter here. Crit, unfortunately, though, really not having a good Rubik game. This is much different from last we saw Mouz with this Rubik strategy. He's 0-12 and 11, by far the most deaths in the game. And yeah, he's just been struggling. He's low level, only level 10, and he just has no items to his name. He's got a Staff of Wizardry in the bank, still on brown boots, just warding up, still on magic stick. Can't even make it a magic wand, Synderen. That's just one poor Rubik. Literally poor.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best game. He's 0-12. Obviously got some assists to his name, but he's really been focused as well. And Na'Vi, whenever they can get an easy target like this Rubik with jackpot health, then you're gonna kill him really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's take a look. What's Doom farming up next? Oh, that's a refresher. I knew he was farming something. So we've now got E-Blade Dagon 5 refresher.
I called that refresher.
Doom. You totally did.
Did it.
You totally did.
I can't believe he did it. Oh, here we go. Havos is in trouble.
Victor charging up the stun. Now Havos going to come in. He will throw the Doom on the Magnus straight away, but he's just going to get obliterated. Mitch actually starting to hit pretty hard. Wow. Mitch has a Daedalus and a Mantis. We saw a couple of 600 crits right there. The Doom not going to be enough to kill the Magnus. He didn't get to use the laser that time. But in the mid, Cat for KM now in a little bit of trouble. Puppy going to use the freezing field, going to burn the BKB kind of afterwards. Sort of an interesting BKB usage, but still they do finish off the Timbersaw. The Orchid on Klink's going to make it a pretty easy kill. And now Dendi just going to back up. So still a small sign of life, I suppose, for our Radiant side, given that Mirana is starting to hit pretty hard. But Dendi is pretty fat himself, and he'll probably have a Daedalus before too long. Does he have something on the courier here? I feel like he should have more gold than that. Oh yeah,
he has it.
That's his Daedalus right there. So
and a drum for Puppy. He likes to go this pretty late in the game, I feel. This is generally considered an early mid-game item, but it's not the first time I've seen Puppy getting it on his CM. I think he just likes the little bit of an extra movement speed surge that he can give himself and his team to really get in, just run in and get in position for the ult. But even though, now he even has a Blink Dagger, so doesn't really need the positioning anymore. Yeah, just likes to pick up drum. I guess Na'Vi don't have one, so it's a good pickup. Yep, they don't. So very nice to have these charges in the end.
Yep.
Yeah, not too much to say about it, I guess.
Yeah, not too much. Na'Vi still with a extraordinarily large lead, let's put it that way. Maybe, yeah, 24k gold, somewhere about 20k experience. Not too shabby for 35 minutes in. Looks like the Alchemist is working towards a Rod of Atos, though. Does have the double Vitality booster, so he's not too far off. About 1,000 in the bank. Those Na'Vi inventories are pretty scary, though. I really want to see this double Dagon onto an ethereal-bladed someone. Anyone. Excited to see some boom boom pow action.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about how much damage Soul Assumption does together with Elder Titan's Natural Order and Ethereal Blade combined. Can do a little bit of math on that. How much damage is it? 6 times 65 plus 20, and then amplified by the E-Blade. We're up to
AFK getting my TI-89 out. I'm gonna go dig it out of storage.
A little bit of math off the top of my head says it's almost a 600 damage nuke if you're under the Astral Spirit and Ethereal Blade and you get hit by a Soul Assumption. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that is scary. In the realm of Dota, that is those are some scary numbers, man. What is the realm of Dota, by the way? I guess it sort of used to be Azeroth. It's not anymore. Is there a name for the magical land in which these heroes exist? Just the Dota universe? The land of Dotes?
I don't really... I haven't read the lore that much of Dota 2, to be honest.
I still say
maybe
Azeroth,
I should.
just despite Blizzard and their copyright shenanigans. But I know
yeah,
that's
let's
not
start
right.
a fight. Yay. Let's burn some bridges. So... I don't actually know what this world is called and what the no idea, to be honest.
In 2 minutes, chat will probably
the Radiant
help us
against
out.
the Dire. Yeah, probably someone knows out there. There is quite a bit of lore written for the heroes that not too many people pay attention to, and which, to be fair, I think can also be expanded upon a bit. There are some concepts like Conquer versus Tide and hero rivalries like that, Crystal Maiden and Lina, stuff like that. So they do have some history, but it's not that visible. It's not that you can obviously find it and read it in the game, but it's maybe not being used as much as it could if you really wanted to make lore a big part of the game. Which,
maybe I'll do a bit
in
of
a
Googling.
sense, maybe it shouldn't be. This isn't really that type of game.
One of my favorite hero, what's it called? Their sayings is when you kill a Doom as a Kunkka, and he says, "Doombringer, meet the Tidebringer." The first time I heard that, I just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. There are a lot of good ones.
I like when Lina dies to CM and she's like, "You were adopted." I think that's pretty good too. I'm pretty sure that's That's one of the lines as well.
I
Or it's
haven't
the
heard
other way
that
around.
one.
One of them kills the other and says they're adopted.
That's a good one too. Yeah, there's a lot of really cutesy stuff that I like, and I agree. The lore is really not a big factor in this game, but it's nice. It adds a nice layer of comic relief in a game that's
Definitely.
otherwise very, very serious business. So I like
Nice
it.
to have some flavor.
Dendy,
coming
what are
in
you
from that.
doing down here, buddy? Resuming that pause, and Dendy, well, he's going to be able to take crit out with him before he goes down. But Dendy just in no man's land down here. I don't know what he was doing. Jeez.
I don't know if the players are really keeping track of the game anymore themselves. It seems a little bit out of control right now, and I think if Navi fool around too much with their weird item builds, I don't know about this Mirana. She is closing in on her next item. She's gonna start hitting hard. Of course, when you have 2 Dooms on the field, you have some leeway. As long as
Yeah.
Evost gets the 2 Dooms off, basically 2 targets become really weak in the fight.
I like that
But if he
Visage is
doesn't-
DC'd, and they don't even care to pause. Navi's like, nah, don't worry, we'll just control him. It's cool.
I think Puppy's gonna micro him.
Let him try and reconnect. We got this, don't worry. Somebody can micro these 4 birds. Look at this. Ephraim's like, do you guys want to pause here, or...
It's okay.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's really funny. It's okay, guys. No worries.
I don't know. Casting a game like this is always weird. I've had a couple of these games where you just don't know what's going on and it's so confusing. It's entertaining in its own right.
Yeah.
It's very hard to start pointing out serious things when there aren't any serious things going on.
All right. Well, here we go. We've got some top names here of the land. We've got Dota World, Earth, and Seattle are the top 3 I see for that.
Oh, it's taking place in Seattle, of course.
I just like
Yeah.
Earth. This is Earth, man. Forget your fantasy. This is totally Earth. Yeah, I guess with that, there isn't a good one. Zangar Marsh. I like that too. Blizzard. Yeah, I mean, I think I've said it a few times. I think Blizzard has a fair claim on some of the copyright stuff that they've taken. I think Elder Titan's a perfect example. Taurens are something that were created by Blizzard. They own all the rights to things that are Taurens. He can't be Tauren Chieftain in Dota 2. Elder Titan, okay, I get it. But when we're changing things like Windrunner to Wind Ranger, you know, Priestess of the Moon to Princess of the Moon, like, all right, I mean, come on, guys. Like, I don't know. I don't buy it. I think there comes a point where you're just splitting hairs and just
Why don't
trying
they just
to be
call
obnoxious.
Why don't they just listen to the community and legit call it Bottom of the Moon?
Yeah, bottom of the moon.
That would be good. Oh, here we go. Might finally have something coming off here.
Oh, Moonlight
Dust
Shadow, gonna
being
get
popped.
dusted.
Nice micro. Visage is standing still. Puppy's gonna blink it. Gets crit.
Oh,
Birds
no.
are in position.
Yep, Rubik gonna fall. Birds are in position. They'll actually connect with Mitch here. He does have a leap available, but oh, the laser not gonna be enough. He's gonna walk away with 22 hit points to spare. Mitch gonna head for the hills. And now, Visage, he will fall. Alchemist gonna get taken out in the fray as well. Cat for KM, he'll
my
take a
God, this
laser
damage.
as well. Oh, man.
That damage from this Doom is obnoxious.
Yeah, it really is. That's a good word for it. I still can't believe this Mirana survived. Literally 22 hit points. That is a stroke of luck right there for sure. But now this bottom lane of Rack's going to be under heavy fire. Timbersaw does not have a buyback. He's actually really close. He's going to have it really soon here. Just a couple of gold. There is a glyph
Rubik
available.
doesn't even need it. He's level 11 in a game where everyone else is 18 plus. So he's actually out now.
Yeah, that's
Really, he's really had a rough game this game.
Yeah, poor crit. Now the arrow going to be off the mark. Dendy going to blink back, and Havos just going to keep chopping away at this barracks. Of course, the T3 did fall. The blink forward from Exist is going to skewer back Havos. Looks like some Dagon action happening here. Puppy going to be able to get a freezing field. It will be enough to finish off the Timbersaw. And a nice Echo Stomp. Going to prevent Mitch from just laying into Puppy. That will keep him alive. That was actually a really nice play from Funnick right there. Another arrow going to be off the mark. And Navi will retreat. All 5 still alive. And Visage.
Yeah, now
Uh-oh.
Puppy's really low.
RP
So he's
going
going
to come
back
out.
to base, and now he's using the Visage instead.
Yep.
Oh, he's coming back.
Down goes Doom, but Clinks, he's just going to lay into him. Oh, the E-Blade going to keep Exist alive. Nope. Oh, man, that one last searing arrow going to get disjointed there. Now Dendy kind of going toe-to-toe with Victor here. And he will
Here comes
retreat.
tactical
There's
airstrike.
the dust. Oh, the mech going to come in. Now Victor going to be in big trouble. He's charging up the stun, not going to be able to get it off. He is going to fall before it flies. Now Mitch, maybe in a little bit of trouble, does have himself a leap. He is going to use it. Still going to get frostbitten. Going to take a fair bit. Dendi going to hop forward. That's the end of the Mirana. And there's one last lone defender. It exists. He's going to be forced to blink back to the base. And I think Na'Vi are going to do this. 4v5. I don't know if Dubis just said, hey, sorry guys, I gotta go, or if his internet got unplugged or what, but looks like he's not even gonna bother to reconnect. It's just, oh my.
I would like to know which of Navi's... It must be Puppy controlling the Visage. At least it seemed like when he was doing some particular stuff with his hero, Visage was basically just standing AFK in the fight. They didn't even need it. They didn't even need it. Their advantage is so incredible right now, and kind of a clowny game, this one, I have to say. After the 20-minute mark, it's just been a lot of shits and giggles from both sides, and
yep.
Na'Vi definitely had a better reason to go for that. They had the advantage the whole way.
I'm not sure who was shitting, but I've definitely been giggling. So yeah, still having some fun with it here, but Na'Vi, I think, needless to say, will be able to secure the win eventually in their own time. No need to rush them here, Synderen. We are going to have a break after this anyhow, and next match isn't scheduled to start for 50 minutes or so. So in all honesty, I guess it could be worse. We could be listening to music right now, so won't complain too much.
Oh no!
Oh no, not the music.
And here goes Roshan once again. Havost actually has 2 inventory slots. He's not going to be that greedy. Dendi's going to get one of them. My money's on Dendi getting cheese and Havost taking Aegis.
Alright, we'll see if it happens.
The other way around. The other way around. Damn it!
No. Cheese still on
Dendi
the
gets
ground.
Rapier instead. Oh. Okay, so Havost takes both and sells the cheese to buy a point booster. He's got eggs flying out. He just sold the cheese.
I've never just the way the delivery was uncanny. Yeah, he's just gonna sell the cheese to buy a point booster, as if the point booster is like a big deal. It's just so funny. I don't know. Oh, Victor gonna survive the Orchid. 50 hit points to spare, but Dendi does have a rapier. There it is. 63. And Doom, he's gonna buy the Ags, so he's just gonna get himself a scepter here, and
double ulti race car build.
Oh man! So now you can just this is. I like this Doom build. I'm gonna have to try this in my next pub game.
So the way it works with Ags on Doom is that if you're inside 900 range, if you're within 900 range of the target, the Doom doesn't start ticking down, so the duration keeps running.
Yeah.
And he can do this on 2 targets because of Refresher, so as long as he stays, like, close to those 2 targets, they're just gonna die over time. And he's casual E-Blade on Mitch, no Manta popped. Yeah. Guess that's what he was hoping for. Arrow on the mark.
Uh-oh. Havost. Timber Chain almost forward. Echo Stomp gonna keep him alive. And he's just gonna, poor crit, he's gonna take another trip back to the well. And now Cat for KM. Where's the refresher? Havost not gonna use it quite yet. First Doom gonna be enough to finish off Timbersaw. And still no refresher coming out quite yet. RP from Exist, he will skewer back. Puppy with the freezing field, gonna do a fair bit of damage here. Oh my gosh! RP into the well. Who's got the rapier?
Mitch got it. Nice thing.
It's just in the enemy well right now. Funnick's gonna walk in and grab it. It may cost him though. Funnick, he's gonna go down as well. Havost just standing in the well. The rapier, who has it? Nobody. It's on the ground. Alchemist, he wants it. Oh, Victor.
Visage.
Visage. The AFK
the disconnected hero takes the rapier. This game. This game. Oh my god.
Oh man. Na'Vi just gonna drop a rapier in the well. Havost, he wants it. He's gonna hop in, he's gonna hop out. Victor, he's gonna be in a little bit of a sticky wicket here. And he's gonna get E-bladed. There we go. Funnick gonna punch him. The rapier. Yeah, AFK Visage still has it. Did Dubis? Oh, he reconnected. Hey, no, wait.
No. Oh, yeah, he did. He reconnected and got killed. Like, oh, he's back. Get him killed and get the rapier on Funnick. God, if Dubis having it.
Well, it looks like that might be GG here, as the throne is finally exposed, and they're going to start chipping away. A lot of creeps here in the base. Puppy trying to make it happen. He is going to throw the freezing field onto... Why did I say freezing field? That was a frostbite onto the Timbersaw. He will commit suicide just in good fashion here as the throne ticks down. Poor crit. 2,000 net worth at the end of it. Oh, 17 and 16. Gonna be
he's going for one more.
Here. Yeah, gonna be one more. Down he goes before the throne falls. He does pull Havost into the well. But Earth Splitter gonna come as well. Funnick! Gonna survive. Whoa, down it goes. So, an interesting game. Clown Dota. Hashtag, the fuck just happened.
What a game. That was really entertaining.
That really was, actually. I can't complain too much. That was
really fun. A good distraction from many of the one-sided games we've had. I mean, this was one-sided as well, but it was funny in its own right, just by the way the teams were playing. So, Na'Vi totally dominant win, but they stretched it to 46 minutes by clowning around kind of a lot, and I think they had a good time here. So, very enjoyable game to watch, and like you said, I believe we're going to have a break until 8.
Yes, that's exactly right. 8 CET is when things resume. Our last match of the day will be Sigma versus Mouz. So, we'll see how that fares, and it should be starting right on time in about 45 minutes from now, so not going to be a super long break. We'll leave the stream running, guys. Some tunage will be coming your way, so thank you for joining us, and, well, you're going to have a breather yourselves. I'm Sayori, with me is Synderen. Had a lot of fun casting that one. Don't go anywhere, because coverage will resume on Beyond the Summit in 45 minutes.